Worldwide Hippies presents Hippie News and Stuff with Winston Smith and the Worldwide Hippies News Team.
Welcome to Hippie TV News and Stuff for the week of April 4th. Brought to you by WorldwideHippies.com, news, commentary, and entertainment by people in the media from all over the globe. WorldwideHippies.com, media for the people, by the people. I am Winston Smith. Is your chocolate bar bugged? The doc's in, a little beaten but unbrowed. A healthy report from Ed Croft, proving all time is irrelevant, the Michael K. Minute, Instant Karma Files, Hippy Woman is back, but Wendy Starr's on assignment, our asshole of the week, and more. Top story. This from ABC News. Allergy sufferers who react to chocolate might be shocked to learn that their allergies could be linked to something other than the cocoa bean. An allergy to fucking cockroaches. An average of 8 insect parts are found in an average chocolate bar and deemed safe, according to the ever-changing FDA guidelines drafted by corporate food producers, not real scientists. Anything more than 60 insect pieces in a chocolate bar is rejected by the FDA. Trace amounts of insect parts that are ground into the food and can affect people with allergy and asthma. Some side effects include migraines, cramps, itching, and hives. Chocolate isn't the only food product to blame for contamination. Other foods like peanut butter, macaroni, fruit, cheese, popcorn, wheat, some cheeses all contain this material. Although the ABC News article centered around the fact that there is nothing the consumer can do about the dirty food provided by the multinational corporations, and the threat by those multi-corporations that if guidelines and restrictions are made tougher, they will put pesticides directly into the food, is a reasonable one. Left out were a few facts. The growth in multinational corporations controlling food production from seeds to table has produced an easing of safety standards in its processes. The gutting of the FDA since the Clinton presidency has virtually left enforcement, testing, monitoring, and reporting to the manufacturers themselves. Since the 80s, the United States has lost ground in protecting the consumer from food contamination, bringing us down to the level of some third world countries. ABC News is owned in part by some of the same multinational corporations that benefit from selling you and I dirty food. Worldwide Hippies wants to report truth on this most important health problem, that being, it's not about chocolate. It's not about cockroaches, mealyworms, rat shit, rodent hair, and body parts. It's not about asthma. It's about corrupt multinational corporations bought and paid for politicians, Democrats, and Republicans alike. Bullshit, or should I say rat shit science, Wall Street, and just plain useless reporters like Lauren Tracy of ABC News. That's what is making Americans and 99% of the rest of the world sick. Here, beaten but unbrowed, is the doc.
What's up, Doc?
Well, now, Winston, Dr. Woody here answering life's little questions like, how do you get 12 ounces of beer in a half-liter glass? Very easily. The other day, Katrina Vander Heuvel in the Washington Post had a column heaping scorn and obloquy, well-deserved, on the right wing for browbeating their fellow citizens into submission with the what I call scorched womb, but it can include school, union, seniors, health, and any other social good. Those policies camouflaging their odious, militantly antisocial, anti-democratic, with a small d, agenda as an almost crusade-like effort in battling against the moral crises of gay marriage, social safety nets, contraception, green energy, and organized labor, among other things. Quoth the outraged Katrina, the real crisis in public morality in the United States doesn't lie in the private decisions of Americans made in their lives or in their bedrooms. It lies at the heart of an ideology and a set of policies that the right wing has used to batter and browbeat their fellow citizens. Come on, please. I mean, all right, I buy the indictment, but really, the gunsel thug wing of the GOP didn't have to browbeat everybody. They had plenty of willing acolytes, lusty volunteers, and enthusiastic foot soldiers. You might be related to a few of them, you know, like the Reagan Dems. And what about the religious right-loon theocrat Christarts? And the growing legions of anti-science homeschoolers eager to eliminate the secular influences of public school from their precious children's growing up? And the welfare, immigrant, colored people haters, there's scores of them. Take all those groups into account, and Widow Peak Ryan, and Orange Boner, and Yertle the Turtle Senator from Tennessee, and Eric the Man with the six-pack jaw Cantor's constituency. You add to that the Limbaugh ditto heads, and you've got a pretty good start on a plurality. Now, I'm not saying that the morality of the corporate bottom line is not, in fact, prima facie itself immoral, because it is, or that those who cleave to it aren't psychopathic narcissists who should be shunned by decent folk and sent to isolated primitive violence because they should be. But to claim that they forced their toxic ideology upon us, I think is a bit of an exaggeration. A lot of people voluntarily swilled that Kool-Aid. Even with the calamities of the last Congress, close to half the people, I think, probably still approve of the frontal assaults on the social safety nets, as long as it's sold as making those lazy loafers go back to work or denying privileges to the undeserving. Most likely, if they thought that the people whom they most detested as inferiors, were suffering more than they were, would be happy with the result. I fear this is the kind of stupid of the sort that even the ocean can't wash off, but I'll try. You can when I see you at the beach, hippies. Pause. Now back to your good self in Hippie Central, Winstone.
Thanks, Doc. Your howling is music to my ears, man. That's news in the U.S. and...
Thanks, Winston. Hi, seekers of truth and justice, wherever you are around the globe. This is Glenn Simpson reporting for Worldwide Hippies from Leeds, in the heart of England. Give you a little idea of the top stories that are running in England and Britain this week. At the moment, we are experiencing absolute pandemonium and chaos. Let me tell you what's happened. Now then, the truckers union here, the drivers and haulage union who transport petrol around, gasoline around the country, have threatened to strike over Easter next week. So the government, in their wisdom, immediately announced that everybody should go now and fill up their cars. Absolute pandemonium. They said if your cars are full, go and fill it up. Keep your car topped up. There won't be any petrol next week. So obviously what's happened is there's been an absolute deluge. And all the garages, some garages are closed already. Some have got policemen in them. People are fighting. Roads are blocked outside garages where people have just stopped in the road in this desperation to get petrol. There are queues miles long and the petrol's running out. That's bad enough, but let me tell you something else that happened that's really backfired on them. One idiot minister of this government announced, along with this fill your car up nonsense, that it would be a good idea to keep petrol supplies in cans in your garage or whatever. Have you ever heard anything like this? Sadly today a woman from Wakefield in Northern England was hospitalised with 40% burns after decanting petrol into cans in her kitchen. 40% burns, and that's following a government directive. And of course the fire officers said this is crazy. You can't tell people to keep petrol. You're not allowed to keep petrol in a confined atmosphere. Sad. Now the lady's in hospital. And of course the end of the story is that the union have decided they're not going to strike next week anyway. Now then, a lot of sinister people are saying that we are coming to the end of our tax year here in Britain, which is the end of March. The new year starts April the 1st. And has this been a ploy by the government just to get people to spend a lot of money so that they can have some massive quick input of tax? Well, surely not. Surely governments don't think like that. Still on tax, actually, let me show you something here. The contents of this bag have caused an absolute sensation. This is a bag, sandwich bag. Let me tell you what's happened. Now then, last week the Chancellor of the Exchequer had his budget And it did all right for some people. If you were earning over £140,000 a year or $200,000, you got a tax cut. The rest of us got hammered. But what he did very sneakily, he slipped in, and is enforcing a 20%. That's our VAT rate. That's the value added tax, the tax we pay on everything. 20% VAT on hot food, hot pies, hot rolls. This is a sausage roll. Let me show you. Hot sausage rolls. That's a sausage roll. Pasties, and the kind of food that everybody eats at lunchtime. Now, one of the few success stories in Britain at the moment is a food outlet called Greggs, and they have little shops all over the country. I think everybody uses them. That's from Greggs, that sausage roll there, and it's great for people if you're on the run or on the fly, if you're on the move or you're at office worker. You can just nip in, grab a nice warm pasty or a nice warm sausage roll, and eat it on the go, and it's decent food. There's nothing wrong with it. Everybody seems to like it. But the problem now is, if I buy this sausage roll, when this tax comes in, when I buy this sausage roll, if it's cold, I'll pay 60 pence for it. If it's hot, I've got to pay 72 pence for it. Ridiculous. So at what point does that sausage roll go from being hot to being cold? What if it's just warm? Would I still pay the tax on it? So look, it's really taken off. And today, when I bought that sausage roll in Greggs, as in every one of their shops all around the country, all around Britain, there is a petition. Everybody's signing a petition against this ludicrous tax, because not only will it cost us more money as consumers, it's going to mean that people are spending less money, and that's going to mean job cuts. Ridiculous. Something else that's happening and that really needs a serious eye keeping on it at the moment is out in the North Sea on the Elgin gas platform, which is about 150 miles off Aberdeen. On Sunday, something happened and there's a gas leak. Anyway, 238 workers on there were evacuated, and it's a very dangerous situation. The gas is leaking around the rig, and there is still a flare burning on the top of the rig that may ignite. That's bad enough, but there is also, it's affected sea life, methane, etc. is leaking into the sea, and it could have serious consequences. The company who own the rig, Total Oil Company, say they have plans, but they have plans they might drill a relief well, whatever, relief, but it could take months, and it's something that's developing, and to be honest, there's not very much media coverage in Britain about this at the moment, but we'll certainly be keeping our eye on it on Worldwide Hippies. Now then, sport. Picking up from last week, told you about the young footballer, 23-year-old Patrice Muamba, who collapsed with a heart attack during a big soccer game here, and caught everybody's attention. It was on the television constantly. And I'm pleased to say that despite his heart stopping for 78 minutes, Patrice Muamba is starting to make a really good recovery, and everybody in the country is pleased about it. It's something that everybody's sort of sent positive thoughts of Patrice Muamba, and we've been watching the news and trying to find out how he is. But now, Mr. John Sittermoo, who is the Archbishop of York, I don't really know what he does. He's always blessing people, and he wears nice purples and gold things. But anyway, Mr. John Sittermoo has said that the reason that Patrice Muamba is feeling better is because the power of prayer.
But God will answer my prayer.
But he's been praying for him. It's prayer.
God will do it for him.
Patrice Muamba, said the Archbishop of York. It's not the brilliant doctors that have been looking after him. Oh, no, no. It's not the constant expert care that he's had 24/7. No, no, nothing to do with that. It's not even the state-of-the-art equipment that these fantastic hospitals are fitted out with. No, it was prayer. Well, I'll just say this to you, Mr. Sittermoo. If prayer works, why not pray for some food for all the starving children across the world? Anyway, this is Glenn Simpson reporting from Leeds, England for Worldwide Hippies, saying peace out, and back to you, Winston.
This is how we feel.
Thanks, Glenn. Can you say Homeland Security watch list? And here, watching out for you, is Ed Croft with a healthcare checkup.
How you doing, Winston? I really don't get how people can be against this healthcare reform. why they're so fervently trying to dismantle it. They're so afraid of socialized medicine. Yet what do we have? What does our for-profit medicine get us? Higher rates, higher co-pays, higher deductibles. I mean, my insurance doesn't kick in until after I've paid out $1,500. I don't have $1,500. So my shoulder stays screwed up. My hip, that's it. Then I got my father-in-law, who he's got Alzheimer's, and you know, they keep pumping him through pills with all these pills to keep him alive. Well, he had a major setback, got an infection, ended up in the hospital, and it really did something to his system, because now he barely recognizes anybody, speaks gibberish, and can't even feed himself. But yet, our great insurance companies, they said, oh, he can only stay here for a couple of weeks and then he has to get out. My mother-in-law has macular degeneration. She's slowly going blind. She has bad back. She can't take care of him. And she's so distraught right now because she sees that they're going to have to sell a house. They're going to have to, all that they've accumulated in their life, they're going to have to hawk in order to pay for Papa. And who knows when it's her time. Everything. And she cries because she wanted to leave her kids something, and she's not going to be able to. We tell her that's okay. You know, we'll survive on our own. I mean, but this is the way it is. This is our great capitalist system. Our great for-profit system. Screw the people, long as we get our money. I'm tired of it. I want to see it changed. But we're not going to see it change as long as people fight against their own ends. My heart to your heart. One heart, one spirit.
Thanks, Ed. It's enough to make you sick. Now from the Instant Karma Files. Now for a nice helping of Georgia Karma, it's the Michael K. Minute.
Hey, it's Michael K. with the Michael K. Minute here in Atlanta with Just Joan again. I'm outside a Starbucks. I don't know if you can tell that or not. Because it used to be a Crystal's years ago. We used to drink at this place called the Stein Club, which is now a skyscraper. And then we stumbled down to Crystal's to have some drunken burgers. But we can't do that anymore. Hot coffee, hot coffee, hot coffee. There goes my hat, no more cowboy image. I'll just have to be a regular old city. Joe keeps going, hello Winston. Hey Winston. My soul and my goals must jive. That's called What's Inside. Quick segue to the poetry segment of the show, which is not what I know you come to see. Is, you know, you come to see Michael K. read his poetry, don't you? Anyway, Ken doll. She wears him like a medal. With every success he achieves, she fucks him harder. She parades him in front of her friends and family. He is a Ken doll that used to make love to her Barbie. That's pretty intense, man. I mean, think about it, you know? Using Barbie as a metaphor for the... Wind it up, she's saying. Is that what you're saying, wind it up? No. I can't read your hand writing. I mean, you're, she's going like this. It's called Kill All the Enemy. Just another day in the neighborhood. The women and the children, they are looking good. Someone dropped a bomb in the middle of my dream. Now I want to join the mafia, the CIA, the infantry. What went wrong? Who hates us? Why? Who are we? They hate. Is it all of us? The milkman, the working man, the single mom, the little league dad who stole. I know we did this one last week. I know we did this one. I'm just stopping that one. And this last one's called People Are Defective. People are defective. It was written about a girl I love. People are defective. They maybe weren't born that way, but by the time you meet them and try to fall in love with them, they are defective. You don't notice it at first. At first you're taken in by a twinkle in her eye, or by the way that she laughs, or by something that lets you know that this is no ordinary woman. No ordinary woman. The next thing you know, she is telling you what an asshole her ex-husband is, how she doesn't have car insurance, and how she is thinking about killing herself. People are defective. People are defective. I'm not sure I'm doing a good job this week because Joan's been looking over like to the side of the camera the whole time instead of being focused on me. There's something more interesting than me going on. Can you imagine there being something more interesting than Michael K. Poet? Winston, back to you.
Thanks, Michael and Just Joan. Just blew me away, guys. Here's Hippie.
Thanks, Winston. Let's have a chat. Spelling and grammar are not always an essential part of life. It doesn't matter. People make mistakes. I just have some pet peeves that really need to be aired out. Apostrophes. Apostrophes are used to express ownership. They have rules. They have regulations. You can't just put apostrophes anywhere you want to. If you have a taco stand, breakfast tacos, 99 cents, nowhere in there should there be an apostrophe. It doesn't belong in there. You don't need an apostrophe when you're using something in plural. If there were two identical taco stands side by side, one of them had proper grammar, one of them had apostrophes all over the place where they didn't belong, I would go to the other taco stand. It's March, but for next year, Valentine's Day does not have an M anywhere in it. If you're gonna go and buy something for Valentine's, no. And you might be saying it on purpose because it's kind of cute. If you know the difference, why don't you just say it the right way? Valentine's Day, etc. People say etc. Etc. is some type of headache medication. It is not a word. It's not a word. Anyway, etc. You go to the coffee shop and you order an espresso. Espresso sounds delicious, but it's not a thing. There's no X in espresso. Southern people, I am Southern. We've all done it. I don't know where it started, but it needs to end. Wished. Please understand, that's past tense. I wished you were here right now. Wish. I wish you were here. I don't know where we decided to add an ED to things. I wished he was here. There's a place of business right by where I live. If you're gonna pay hundreds of dollars for this custom-made sign, don't you think you should use a spell check? It's free. It's free. I don't understand. I mean, breakfast tacos? This is how you make your living. Oh. Just one more thing. It has nothing even to do with spelling, but why not? If you are trying to give somebody a URL or web address verbally, you don't have to say www.worldwidehippies.com. You just say worldwidehippies.com. They'll figure it out. www. It's not necessary. That's all for now. www.backtoyouwinston.com.
Thanks, Hippy Woman. I never thought it was you who put Nair in Wendy's Star shampoo. Ed Croft started that rumor. Oh, and I hear it's time for Asshole of the Week. And this week it goes to the little turd that thinks he's a big shit, Spike Lee, for retweeting a home address he thought was George Zimmerman's, who killed 17-year-old Cheyenne Martin on February 26th. The address was wrong. The elderly couple who did live there had to leave their home because of death threats. It seems that Mr. I Never Met a Black Person I Couldn't Exploit Lee wanted to fuel the anger and incite violence against George Zimmerman, who killed 17-year-old Trayvon Barton on February 26. Instead, his lawyer got together and paid off the elderly couple. Mr. Buy My Overpriced Clothing made by exploited children in third world countries and sold by minimum wage, no benefit black workers in inner city stores has been for a while now. And just like Al Sharpton, nothing reverent about him, Jesse Jackson, nothing there either, and virtually all media pundits who are all too willing to forget any due process and encourage the killing of George Zimmerman, who killed 17-year-old Trayvon Martin on February 26. Spike, let's use race to make me rich, should be charged with soliciting murder on the internet. But that'll never happen. He has too many rich, want to hang and watch basketball white guys and do nothing public servants like Attorneys General Eric Holder as part of his posse. And that is why Spike Lee is Worldwide Hippie's Asshole of the Week. That's it for now. Thanks for watching. Please visit worldwidehippies.com for more news, information, entertainment, and education from the people for the people. And if you're interested in becoming a part of Worldwide Hippies, you can find out more by contacting Joe at worldwidehippies.com. And please show your support for Citizen Media by visiting our store at worldwidehippies.com/store or make a donation so we can keep up the howl for peace and justice. And you will see the Doc, Wendy Starr, Ed Croft, Michael K. Poet, Hippy Woman, Glenn Simpson, and yours truly, Winston Smith, here next Monday.